watching Full Moon with Umi. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, welcome to the first episode of Full Moon with Umi. I have an amazing special guest with me today. Please give it up for Schmenna!
Hello world!
This is Schmenna.
It is I.
So for those of you who might know me on Instagram, every full moon I like to do a live stream where I talk about like spirituality and manifestation and crystals and past lives. Abundance. But I decided like a lot of people wanted me to keep those videos for more than the 24 hours, so why not start a YouTube series? Ta-da! So for this first episode, I have my amazing friend Schmenna here, amazing photographer, amazing artist, amazing videographer, amazing director, amazing everything. Talk about some of the basics of spirituality and manifesting and law of attraction and crystals and like all these like kind of topics that I get asked a lot about together using our girl power. Yeah. So let's get into the first question. What is spirituality?
What is spirituality?
Yes, to you. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. For me, I feel like spirituality is really at its core just like principles or values or philosophies that like energetically align with like the essence of who you are.
Yeah.
It's your truth. One of the simplest ways to really know that something is aligned or like divine is just the emotional response you get from it, that gut feeling. So it's like, does this automatically like just feel right or feel good? Like that's a divine, that's a spiritual like experience or like sign. So yeah,
I love that. To add on to everything Schmenna said, I would also say to me, spirituality is also just like heightened self-awareness and personal commitment, I guess, to elevating your consciousness through like heightened self-awareness. It's like understanding where all your emotions come from, but then also understanding like how powerful you are in this world and how you can manifest and bring to life anything that you anything that you desire, because you're powerful, but you only realize that by being more aware of yourself and like in tune with yourself. So spirituality doesn't, like she said, doesn't have to necessarily be religious.
It can be,
but when, like for me, when I talk about it, it's not necessarily religious, but more like internal.
I think spirituality is like connected. It's really like
It's connected. Also like to your spirit, like I fully believe we chose to like come into this life as a spirit from like the spirit world, and reconnecting with your spirit and realizing that you're more than this human.
Basically,
yeah.
We are one.
Okay, that's good. Yes. So as she likes to insert, the second question that I get asked a lot is, what is the law of attraction? What does the law of attraction mean, and how does that relate to like manifesting? What is manifesting? So law of attraction is one of the principles of the world. Just like there's a principle to gravity, and there's a lot of laws that guide how the world works. That law of inertia. Yes, law of inertia. I was like, I forgot all my laws. All of a sudden. So
I was like, let me throw in some examples.
The principle is that everything in the world is energy. Like we're all energetic beings, and like from a scientific perspective, we're all cells that are vibrating. You know that
like atoms.
Exactly, a bunch of atoms vibrating, and so we're a bunch of energy just vibrating at different frequencies. So the law of attraction says that like attracts like. So like energies attract like energy. So if you put that into yourself, it's like if you as a person radiate a positive energy, then positive circumstances and positive people are attracted to you, while if you speak negative about yourself or you hold a negative energy, you're rude to other people, etc., then those are what
you'll receive
back.
We are always manifesting. Like even if you're not aware of it, you're still manifesting. So the idea of like whatever you are putting out into the world is what you give back. A lot of people, it can almost not resonate, or like they don't see how they're probably like pessimistic and they don't even know it. They're unaware of how pessimistic or negative they are, and so they repel people who are positive or joyful or optimistic because people don't want to be around energy that doesn't resonate with their true spirit. So like Umi's saying, like if you're a positive person, you're gonna bring positive experiences and positive people into your life, because we want to be together. Like positive people and positive atmospheres and environments are going to radiate positive creation and progression to whatever the situation is, and vice versa. vice
versa. The kind of like opposite side to law of attraction is society has brought us up in a world where we are naturally just like pessimistic people who think life is a struggle. If you don't struggle, you don't receive. If someone doesn't hurt you, you don't have character. Like all these like really like
these like tough, this is what made me.
Yeah.
I mean that is a fact for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times we don't have to have a sob story to create
Exactly.
miraculous circumstances
Exactly.
out of any situation.
And that's why, like, subconsciously, your reality could just be a reflection of a lot of childhood traumas that you're going through and a lot of unaddressed pain that you have. And so you speak negatively about yourself. I don't deserve success, or I don't think I should be rich, or money is not, like, all, like, that's your reality. And that's what spirituality to me is. It's, like, understanding those childhood traumas and whatnot so you can start to attract abundance.
Yeah, it's like how you're speaking to yourself. That's a very almost like subconscious thing, because a lot of the time we're not speaking out loud.
Yeah.
We're very in our head, and our minds are the most powerful and could potentially also be the most dangerous, because that's how everything is created. It first begins in the mind. Like anything that we can physically see and touch and like experience in this reality now first began as an idea in someone's mind.
Even the concept of electricity was like in someone's mind, and it's someone who was able to visualize it being created, and that's how it becomes formed.
The thing, and I think it was Benjamin Franklin. People probably thought Benjamin Franklin was crazy. You know what I mean? Benjamin Franklin was like, I'm going to take the electricity from the lightning in the sky. Like, and I'll just make light appear whenever I want. Like, that literally sounds crazy. Like, 300, I don't know how long that was ago. Maybe 300 years ago. Someone was like, what? Like, what are you talking about, crazy person?
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I'm going to make this happen. I feel like it can happen. And now we got fucking fairy lights and, you know, Himalayan pink salt lamps.
And adding just like one more point to that, when you think about it, when you desire something or when you want something, it all comes down to the feeling you get from it. Like, you want a new car because of the convenience and the happiness and blah, blah, blah. But that's mostly internal. And you have access to that whenever you want. Therefore, you have the ability to attract that whenever you want by shifting your mindset and speaking from an I am perspective. The next point, but everything is about the present moment. You have it now, and that's how you get things to be attractive.
Another point to add on to what you just said, the idea of like visualizing, like if it's really the feeling, like that's really, really important. Like insert like this is important. Yeah. Okay. So basically I read somewhere scientists who like study like brainwaves or whatever. So basically the feelings that are evoked when you get something that you desire and when you think about something that you desire on a like brainwave scan, technically like data recorded. Like you know, like when if you were to measure your brainwaves that like spark the endorphins or serotonin like hub of your brain, there's no difference. Basically, whether you're visualizing something that you desire in life or it's actually happening, your brain literally can't tell the difference because the same endorphins, the same like chemicals in your body, because we are like electric beings, are being ignited because everything is energy. And so when you do want, you know, when you do have these desires like a brand new car or a vacation or, you know, moving into, you know, your dream apartment or like whatever it is, it's really important to, you know, just take the time to think about like how that will make you feel. I know you've read Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks like books, and they talk about the importance of just being able to like really visualize and feel all of those emotions. Like how will it sound? Like how will the sand feel on your hands, and like how does that like emotionally make you feel? Do you feel joy? Do you feel excitement? Do you feel like security? So it feels so real. Because you know, like dreams, even when you're dreaming and you're like, you wake up and you're like, what the fuck, that was a dream? Your brain can't tell the difference until like consciousness kind of comes, you know, or like dimensional, whatever.
That leads me to the next question, which is, what is manifestation? How does manifestation work? How do you even manifest anything? Yes, what's the whole process? So kind of like piggybacking off of what Schmenna said, whenever you want to manifest what you desire, like I said, it all comes down to the feeling. You have access to that feeling, so the key is to tap into that feeling now. And what you should do is you should speak about what you desire, but not in a I want something, like I want a car, or I want a vacation, or I want a fulfilling relationship, but you say I have a fulfilling relationship, I have my car, I'm so happy that I have this beautiful black Tesla. Ooh, it looks so good on the inside. I love driving it through downtown LA. I play my favorite song. Like, you really just get detailed about what you want. And for some people, it helps to write it down. That's called scripting, where you like write about something you desire.
As if it's already happened.
So scripting's one way. Some people it's just sitting and visualizing through meditation. There's a lot of different tactics to speak about what you want in the present and fully feel and believe that. And sometimes it can be hard, so I would say start gradually and start with little things that are easy for you to like subconsciously believe that you deserve. And as you do that more, it becomes easier to manifest bigger things. Because it can be hard to be like, I want $1 million if like your subconscious doesn't have a good relationship with money. So as you work through that, you start with like, I'm so glad I found $5 on the ground, and you find $5 on the ground, and you just like
whoa,
work your way up. Yeah.
I think we forgot to actually say what is manifestation.
Oh yeah, what is manifestation?
So we'll go backwards.
Yes, we'll go backwards.
Manifestation is a tool or a process or like a practice that you can follow to take your desires from just like in your mind into physical reality. I think that's really good. So it's basically like, it's like making your dreams come true.
Yeah.
I desire this thing, now it is actually here and I'm doing it or experiencing it. Like that is very, like, it's very core. How we can use the law of attraction to amplify our manifestation, like the manifestation process or practice, is through that kind of core understanding of just how energy works and how it's reciprocated. And I think that even goes into like the law of like karma a little bit too, but really, like Umi was saying earlier, it's just like realizing the power of what we say and the power behind the feeling that we put into the things that we say. Because it's intention.
Yes,
that's a really okay, I'm glad that came to me, because intention is super important, because sometimes it's really not even about the words that you say, because there are so many different languages. For someone else, a word may mean a certain thing, but in another language, it means something completely different. So it's about the intention that goes behind the sounds that we're like literally making that are understandable by a select number of people. But it's again like our words have vibration, and so sometimes, you know what I mean? And you're like saying the same thing, but it has a different like vibration and energy that you're putting behind it because of your feelings. And so I think that it's really important that when you're speaking life into the like verbally or writing it out, like with scripting, that the intention that you put behind those desires are like positive and excited or like hopeful. Because I think a lot of the times, even using the words like I want this, it's like it puts off a desperate energy, and that's the like really important part, is like that intention behind it. Like, where does it stem from? Because do you want to go into that?
Well, I was just gonna say I think that's a big reason why a lot of people who are working really hard at something feel like they're not getting what they want, because I think getting what you want is two parts. It's like working hard, but also not even working hard, working with diligence and working with commitment, but also having the mindset that you deserve where you're working at. But a lot of people have this energy like, I'm working so hard, I want this so bad, why isn't it happening? I want this so bad, I want this so bad. It's never gonna come to you, because what you want to the universe is just a constant want. Like what you're asking is like to always want. But if you say, I have this, I'm so happy I have this, thank you, I have this, then like the universe is like, oh, that's the energy that you're giving off.
I want to like even go further on that, because I think, especially in my process of like learning more about the law of attraction and manifesting and watching so many videos and listening to podcasts, and you kind of hear the same things over, but I think that's one of the things, like that concept or like sentiment behind like I want versus like I am or I have, like that present, like it is already mine language. It gets a bit confusing. And it's understandable, because when we think about it, it's just like, well, I want this. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not really thinking about it in the sense of your subconscious feeling like you don't have it and it's a lack. But I think that it's really important to understand how the universe will only really hear the desire that it, like whatever the actual desire is, and then the like predicate that comes before it, which is like am, have, or want.
Yeah.
Really, you know, like
really
I
want.
really like, especially because basically to want something is an action on its own.
Yeah.
So like you have
What you desire,
which is like
want.
the want, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I want this, and it's like
cool, you want it.
okay, like
you got it.
there's the wanting of it. Like, do you want? Fuck. See, that's where it's tricky because it's really like that conditioned like language to switching
the way you speak, like that you're raised to say. I desire it. Should be. I have it already, and then it's like okay, now you can have it because
I know that. A lot of people talk about when you say like I am not or I will not, like the universe also doesn't recognize not. It only really recognizes the action word, not
all
not the negative, like the opposite of it. Because instead of just saying the opposite of it, say what it is. Like, you know, if you don't want to be broke, or like if you feel broke or you are broke, which you're not, say I am rich, I am wealthy, I am abundant. As opposed to like I am not broke or I am not poor.
Yeah.
Speaking like present, like the specific action word, because the universe just like it can't recognize. No, it just hears like poor, broke. Because that's really going back to the intention, because you're not focused on the feeling of being rich. You're focused on the lack. You're focused on the present experience of not having enough money. But that's not who you are. So by allowing yourself to just already switch from those words of like a negative or a lower vibration, poor, broke, not as much, you know, like those negative words, focus on the positive, because there's like usually an opposite for all of those words, and the universe will hear all of
the positive,
because that's what you're focusing on. You're like, I'm abundant. It's coming to me.
Fully. And then the other like final little like cherry on top is to approach every manifestation with gratitude. So to like say I am, for example, if we're talking about money, I am wealthy, I am rich, but then also thank you for the ability for me to have this money. Thank you for the ability for me to go and buy like my favorite snacks at Trader Joe's. You know, it's like, or like if you want, like right now I want to manifest a Tesla, and I'm like, oh, thank you universe for this beautiful eco-friendly Tesla. Like I can drive my friends, we can go to the beach together, and you like approach everything with gratitude, because gratitude is such a strong energy. It's so powerful.
Actually, to even bank on that, I know we were like, that's a cherry on top, but like
cherry,
the sprinkles, the gluten free. I'm just kidding. To go even further with that, before even having gratitude for something that technically isn't in your physical reality yet, to be grateful for whatever circumstance you're currently in. Because how can you be grateful for something that like you technically in this like 4-dimensional like earthly experience can't experience sensually? Like you have to be able to appreciate where you are now. I feel like even mindset you're going into is like if you want more money, it's like you're not even grateful for what you have now. So what good is more money
gonna do for you? Yep.
Because really, what is it that, I think that's another thing too, like how you gave that specific example about a Tesla, right? Like it's eco-friendly, like I can pick up and, you know, like pick my friends up and we can go more conveniently to places, as opposed to just like I want a Tesla. Like Teslas are cool. Like I mean that's cool, you know, like that's of course cool too, but it's knowing the actual intention behind what that thing that you would manifest would give you. You know, a lot of people want money, but they want to be rich, but it's like, do you really want to be rich, and do you really want a lot of money, or do you want financial stability or financial abundance or security or independence? Because that's what money just gives us. Money is it's not like a real thing. It's a feeling. It's a currency. It's just energy exchange. It's what we use as like exchange goods and services without having to be like, hey, like, let's barter.
Yeah,
like, I know you don't need any boxes right now, but like
we got so many boxes. I like one day we'll turn the camera around. But it's so true. Like, gratitude in the now increases abundance and the speed at which things come to you. But then also, like, when you really reflect on the intention behind what you want, sometimes you realize, like, I don't actually really want or need that thing. Like,
you just needed a little like mind, like a little mind flip. Because I think that once you start expressing gratitude, or like even making it like a game, like, what can I find in my current experience right now to be grateful for, you'll start raising your vibration naturally, like almost subconsciously, if you don't really think about it too deeply. But you're just like, all right, what do I see around me? Like, oh wow, this plant is really nice.
So
it's green. Like, I'm exchanging carbon dioxide or oxygen, or whatever, carbon dioxide for oxygen.
Oh, how beautiful.
Physically forcing, or not forcing, but allowing yourself to express that, like verbally, or even writing it down, which is like one of the most powerful things, because then you can always go back and verbally speak it out. But it's like imprinted into like, this is the atmosphere of the universe. But that's my thought.
So now that we kind of covered the basics of what the topic that we're talking about today, which is spirituality and manifestation, law of attraction, Schmenna and I have written a bunch of questions in here for us to randomly pick and answer that are little shorter questions that might help you with any specific little points you want us to clarify. So you want to start?
Okay.
Random question time!
I have the question here. Here's my... I can't. I should try it when I open it. Okay. Do you have a favorite affirmation? Okay, there we go. Will it focus?
Before you answer that, what is an affirmation? An affirmation is pretty much like a declaration, a statement of positive energy, where like you are stating into the universe, like, I am abundant, I am attracting infinite amazing people and opportunities into my life with ease. You know, it's like with ease.
Specifying how it's coming.
It's just your way of like communicate. To me, I think it's a way of communicating to like the universe, the world, the energy field around you. This is the vibration I am vibrating at. You know, like this is the vibration I'm vibrating at.
It's like everything that you say, like you become.
But anyways, back to the question. Do you have a favorite affirmation?
Do I have a favorite affirmation? Actually, I do. Or I guess a few. I usually start off physically handwriting, like, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy. First, because I just finished reading this book called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. But basically, it's this really great book that I found at the last bookstore.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and like the spirituality section, and it was used. It was super great. And basically, like, it talked about how to increase your wealth consciousness, which in turn will increase your like material wealth. So it really talks about the law of attraction, and it almost like talked exactly about the law of attraction, all these principles that we're really discussing without even mentioning the words law of attraction. But anyway, throughout the book, it always like, it would be like a paragraph or maybe a couple paragraphs, and then like it'd be like in the middle, like as a paragraph break, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy, and it was in capital. But throughout the whole book, so you had no choice but to constantly read it. Even if you didn't say it out loud, like your mind would see it, so it would like have to, you know, just speak it. But I started to make it an even like bigger point to like say it out loud as I read it, and then I would like, with my highlighter, I put like a little check mark, like an exclamation point, like with the heart, like I said it. And it's gotten to the point where like, because I finished the book now every time I write those my affirmations down, I write that one first because I'm just so used to it. And it's like, I am all those things. That's really what affirmations are for, like for the act of repetition and the act of, like you said, reprogramming, especially if you don't believe these things yet.
I think a lot of, like, for myself, one way I use affirmations is like, I've always had this weird relationship with money where I always was like, I don't need money, like I don't need much to live, because I always thought like money was bad, and so that's why I always felt like in my past I was having a lot of financial issues. But then once I opened my mind to being like, money is a great thing because I can use it to help people. Money is a positive, beautiful thing. Then money started to flowing to me abundantly, but that only happened because I would write it down every day for like a year until it got to a point where I felt comfortable with money. So it's like what you said, affirmations is repetition to retrain your subconscious, and it's like a little tool you can use to better yourself.
Definitely. My contact. Writing things is so powerful.
Yeah.
I heard someone say, you know the word spelling? Like when you're spelling out something, it's like you're casting a spell. And like, I mean, not to get all like witchcraft. I mean, maybe it is like, basically, it's like when you're writing down, you're using like energetic motion, to take something from your mind physically. Like if you think about it, like think of your like the idea of like the manifestation, the desire. It starts in your brain, right? And it's like you can't literally touch it. You know, you can like feel it and see it in your head, but how do you communicate that to someone? You use your senses, like your ability to speak or your ability to read and write. And so if you like imagine it just like traveling through your body, or if you're left-handed, I don't know, whatever. You know,
it's so accommodating for all people. Even the left.
No one left. My sister's left-handed.
My sister's left-handed too. We love our sisters.
Shout out to just like it's traveling through to eventually like be imprinted onto something that is physical, you know, because paper or whatever you're using to like write stuff down comes from the earth, so it's like
so much that goes.
What's your favorite affirmation?
Oh yeah, my favorite affirmation is probably I am abundant. I attract infinite amazing people and opportunities into my life with ease. Like, I've memorized that. That's like my daily. Also, just like shorter ones I read, like I'm abundant. I'm infinite. I'm aligned. I'm aligned is my favorite.
I like using that too. Such a melodic.
Okay, next question. Ooh, do you have a law of attraction story? This is a good one.
Yeah. I was watching this video on creative visualization. So the person speaking in the video was like giving an example of like how just like the law of attraction works and how like visualization and like things like that come into play and he used this example of your friend is like, hey, have you ever seen like a red sports car or something like that, and like maybe you've never actually consciously noticed a red sports car in your life, but the minute they said that, it's been brought into your awareness, so now you start seeing red sports cars everywhere. That's kind of how the law of attraction works. Like what you pay attention to, vibrations, positive, negative energy, or red sports cars, you'll start to see that in your reality. I remember going to sleep and I think I slept over at my friend's house, and then like I drove home the next morning, and I remember I was just like driving, listening to music, and then that video that I watched about the creative visualization practice and that example popped up into my head, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm driving right now, this would be a cool time to like apply it. Oh no, what the video had said was specifically a red Tesla. And I was just like, okay, I honestly don't even pay attention to when I see Teslas. So I was like, maybe a red Tesla is too specific. So I was like, maybe I'll just try to manifest a red sports car. And I kid you not, like 5 seconds later, I saw a red Camaro. Wow. Like literally, like maybe I'm having my thought over here, and then I look out the window, it's a red Camaro. And I was like, is that just like, it was like almost too coincidental. Like it just happened too fast. So I was like, okay, maybe that did work. I should get more specific. So I was like, I'm gonna manifest seeing a red Tesla. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I've never seen a red Tesla in my life. I barely see Teslas. And then I was driving to an appointment, and I was on the phone with Diana. So I was not really focused on like anything really related to me, because I was just listening. And I'm getting out my car, like I'm finding a parking spot. You know, I'm just like parallel parking. I'm still really just like into this conversation with Diana. And I get out the car. I walked in front of my car, in between the car in front of me and my car, to get onto the sidewalk. It just like didn't come into my awareness until 5 seconds later that I parked behind a red Tesla. Bitch, I was like, what the fuck?
You could test it out too. You could try to see if you could see a red sports car. Comment below if you see a red sports car.
Red Tesla, let's get specific.
Red Tesla,
Or any like yellow Camaro.
This book called Why Quantum Physicists Never Fail. If you don't believe in the law of attraction, read that book, because it's all analyzes it from a scientific perspective and like gives you
cool. For all the science people here,
all the science
sprinkle of science.
And E Squared, this book called E Squared, also has a bunch of tests that you can try. It's like the butterfly test, etc., etc. But I would say my law of attraction story is maybe last summer. It was the summer after like freshman year, and it was like at that stage where I had to make a decision if I like really wanted to commit to music or not, because it was like almost, I could feel like something was gonna happen if I really committed. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna quit my job. And so I was like, my entire schedule cleared up, and I was like, you know what, I'm quitting my job because I have a feeling that if I clear my schedule with the intention and the affirmation that like it will get refilled up with music things, it'll happen. So I just trusted it. And I quit my job and I started writing down, like, I'm so happy I get to go in sessions every single day, and like I'm so happy I get to go to meetings, and literally like every day I'm in a session. But that summer, just like slowly my schedule started to fill up, and by August, like every single day I was in a session or I was at a meeting, and it was just like me taking that jump and quitting my job, which was like really scary for me at that point to do. And then things just started moving, and it's the same. I just dropped out of school, and like when I dropped out of school and I made that commitment to myself that I trust that I can manifest amazing things in my career, it's like amazing things started to manifest. So for me, I feel like big manifestations happen when I take really big risks.
Yeah,
big risks, like really.
It's like an energy exchange.
Yeah, I fully trust, and then when you really commit, it always happens. It really does.
Oh, cool. We had two like a very like simple but like exciting story, and a very like whoa, whole life changing.
But we have a tip for people: if you're trying to find parking, manifest it. Like,
oh my gosh, okay.
She has like a little song that she does.
I've like created this recently. So basically, as you're nearing your destination, I feel like it works best like a couple minutes before you get to the spot. I like to say it as it's happening. So like I'll be like, I'm finding parking and it's super close to my destination and it's free. Like say all the things. Like it's free, it's close to your destination, it's coming to you in 5 minutes or less. Our song that I've recently been starting to say, if I can remember it, is like, I'm finding parking and it's coming to me and it's free and it's close to where I need to be. But like I'll sing it in a melody.
Let's go. I'm so thankful I have a parking spot. Oh, I'm so happy. Like I was just always like, I'm so happy. It always comes to that. Okay. So Schmenna's gonna pull our final question.
Favorite spiritual book or podcast?
Yes. I would say my favorite books are both. Entry-level book is The Secret. It's like just like a comprehensive book about what is law of attraction. Ask and it is given, which is a book that actually Schmenna let me borrow. I went to her place and I found it, and I was
definitely
I don't know
recommend.
why I want to read it.
No, it's really great.
So good. That book, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle is so good, and also The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein, I think. And my favorite podcasts are, of course, the Oprah Super Soul Sunday. The second podcast is this podcast called Ancient Wisdom. We'll link all our favorite podcasts and books down below.
Yeah. So my favorite books on definitely Ask and It Is Given, 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. I think that's by Deepak Chopra. The book I mentioned earlier, A Happy Pocket Full of Money, specifically for manifestation, wealth consciousness, not just like, oh, I want to be richer, but really understanding wealth is measured more than just like your finances. It's your health and your relationships and how you view yourself, what you're contributing to the world. Creative visualization.
Yeah, that's a good book.
Podcast, Oprah Super Soul Sundays, and I just started listening to the Ancient Wisdom podcast.
One last book is The Four Agreements. It's been like such a good book for my mental, so I also recommend that one. It's a very healing book. Thank you all for watching the first episode of Full Moon with Umi. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Schmenna, for being on the show. So before we leave, I kind of want to leave everybody with a little challenge, a little takeaway from this, and I ask that for everyone watching that you make a vision board of all the things that you want, that you desire, that you want to manifest, and that you put it up on your wall, and then
where you can see it
every single day. And then when you do that, if you want, take a picture and use hashtag Full Moon with Umi, and I'll like your vision board, and we can follow along and see where we are with each other's vision boards. But
and feel free maybe feel free to write in the comment what is a specific thing you're manifesting until the next
Yes.
to the next month.
And we'll see where everybody is.
Yeah, and then you can like update
start a
the next
community.
Yeah.
So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like,
comment, subscribe. Yes, all the
YouTuber things, because we're doing another full moon video next month with another set of guests, another beautiful topics. I hope you enjoy. Until the next full moon. Goodbye.